Hello viewers, welcome to our channel Career Prep. In this video, we'll learn about the concept of time and work. This topic is an important topic for many competitive examinations like SSC, UPSC, railways, banking, etc. Many people face difficulties in solving problems on time and work. But if the concept is understood clearly, then these problems are quite easy to solve. Since questions based on this topic are most frequently asked in competitive exams, it makes sense to understand the concept well. These questions are the ones where marks can be scored easily if practiced well. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notifications as soon as we post a new video. So let's start. First, let's understand the meaning of time and work. Time is the duration during which any activity or work happens. Work is a task or a set of activities done to achieve a certain result. You have to remember a few points regarding time and work. A particular amount of time is required to complete every work. Work done is directly proportional to the time taken. That is, the more time that is taken to complete the work, the more work is done. So work done is directly proportional to the time taken, and the proportionality sign is removed by 1 day work or work rate. Thus, work is proportional to time taken means work is equal to 1 day work multiplied by time taken. Now work is always considered as an entire value or 1. So total amount of a complete job is equal to 1. Work can be divided into equal parts. That is, if a task is finished in 10 days, in 1 day the task will be, in 1 day you will finish 1/10 part of the work. There are a few basic concepts which will help you to solve problems on time and work. So understand thoroughly and be perfect with these basic concepts. Work is always considered as an entire value or 1. So the total amount of a complete job is equal to 1. Now let's see how to calculate work from days. If A can do a piece of work in n days, then A's 1 day work is equal to 1 by n. For example, Mohan can polish the floor of a building in 20 days. So 1 day's work by Mohan is 1 by 20. Thus, work done in 1 day is equal to total work divided by number of days taken to complete the work. Now let's see how to calculate days from work. If A's 1 day work is equal to 1 by n, then A can finish the work in n days. For example, Mohan's 1 day work is 1 by 20. So Mohan can complete the work in 20 days. Thus, number of days taken to complete the work is equal to total work divided by work done in 1 day. Now, when you observe these two concepts, you'll see that work done in 1 day and number of days taken to complete the work are reciprocals of one another. That is, if the total number of days taken to complete the work is 20 days, then 1 day's work is the reciprocal of 20, which is 1 by 20. Similarly, if 1 day work is 1 by 20, then the total number of days taken to complete the work is the reciprocal of 1 by 20, which is 20. Now this concept that the work done in one day and number of days taken to complete the work are reciprocals of one another is a very important concept that you have to remember. This will help you while solving problems on time and work. When more than one person are working on the same piece of work, then their combined one day's work is equal to sum of one day's work by each person. That is, A plus B plus C's one day work is equal to A's one day work plus B's one day work plus C's one day work. For example, A can do a work in 10 days, B can do it in 15 days, and C can do it in 20 days. Then A plus B plus C's one day work is equal to A's one day work plus B's one day work plus C's one day work. Remember that one day work is the reciprocal of the total number of days taken to complete the work. So A's one day work is 1 by 10 and B's one day work is 1 by 15. C's one day work is 1 by 20. So now you have A plus B plus C's one day work is equal to 1 by 10 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 10, which is nothing but 13 by 60. The reciprocal of combined one day's work gives the time required for completion of the work by the persons working together. So, time for completion of work by A, B and C working together is equal to 1 divided by A plus B plus C's one day work. For example, three persons, Ramesh, Mahesh and Suresh, can do a job in 10 days, 12 days and 15 days respectively. Then the time taken by them to complete the job working together is equal to 1 divided by their combined one day's work. Now remember that one day's work is the reciprocal of the total number of days taken by the person to complete the work. So one day work of Ramesh is 1 by 10. One day work of Mahesh is 1 by 12 and one day work of Suresh is 1 by 15. So their combined one day's work will be 1 by 10 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 15. So the time needed by them to complete the job working together is equal to 1 divided by 1 by 10 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 15, and on solving this you get 4 days. This means that Ramesh, Mahesh and Suresh, if they are working together, they'll need 4 days to complete the job. Part of work done at any time t by one or more persons is equal to t multiplied by one day's work. For example, if A does a job in 15 days and you have to find out the job done by A in 7 days, then you use this formula. Here T is 7 and one day's work is 1 by 15. So job done by A in 7 days is equal to 7 multiplied by 1 by 15, which is nothing but 7 by 15. So if A does a job in 15 days, then part of the work done by A in 7 days is 7 by 15. Now let's understand the concept of efficiency in the form of ratio. A is twice as good a workman as B, means that A does 2 times more work as B in the same time. So ratio of work done by A and B is equal to 2 is to 1. So efficiency and work done are directly proportional to each other. So the more efficient a person, the more work done by him. A is twice as good a workman as B means that A takes half the time as that of B to finish the same amount of work. That is, B takes 2 times more time than A to do the work. So ratio of times taken by A and B to finish the work is equal to 1:2. So efficiency and time are inversely proportional to each other. So more efficient the person, less time taken by him to complete the work. Remember, if efficiency is given in numbers, then form a ratio using x. For example, A is twice as good a workman as B. Here, the ratio of work done by A and B is 2x is to x. And the ratio of time taken to do the work by A and B is x is to 2x. If efficiency is given in percentages, then form a ratio using 100. For example, A is 50% more efficient than B. Here, the ratio of work done by A and B is 150 is to 100. And the ratio of the time taken to do the work by A and B is 100 is to 150. Now let's understand the concept of wages. If more than one person is engaged on payment basis for doing a work, then the total wages distributed to each person is in proportion to the work done by each person. This means the person who does more work gets more wages. The total wages distributed to each person is in proportion to the 1 day's work of each person. This means the person who does more work in 1 day gets more wages. Total wages distributed to each person is in inverse proportion to the time taken by the person. This means if the person takes more time to complete the work, he gets less wages. Let's understand the concept of chain rule. Chain rule helps us to understand the relation between time, work, efficiency, and manpower. Chain rule can be applied in questions where two or more than two elements are given. Each element has two figures except for one of the elements which has one figure missing. Chain rule is used to find out this missing part of the element by subsequent comparison. So, if P1 persons with efficiency E1 can do W1 work in D1 days, working H1 hours per day, and if P2 persons with efficiency E2 can do W2 work in D2 days, working H2 hours per day, then P1 D1 H1 E1 divided by W1 is equal to P2 D2 H2 E2 divided by W2. Now efficiency of a worker or machine is considered to be equal to 1 unless it is specified otherwise in the problem. So if efficiency is taken as 1, then the formula becomes P1 D1 H1 divided by W1 is equal to P2 D2 H2 divided by W2. Now, while solving problems on chain rule, if work done is different in both the cases, then use the formula P1 D1 H1 divided by W1 is equal to P2 D2 H2 divided by W2. If the same amount of work is done, then W1 is equal to W2. Then use the formula P1 D1 H1 is equal to P2 D2 H2. Viewers, please go through this video till you have understood the concept. Please do watch all our videos on solved problems on time and work for better understanding. Please do watch our video on basic solved problems on time and work. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.